I didn't want to be a rock star. I didn't want to be a movie star. I want to be a health-based culinary expert, a cook star, and so can you. Hi, I'm Remmi of Cook Time with Remmi, and welcome to Chef Club Box Fresh. Today we're going to make beef and rice timbali with Peruvian stuffed avocados. So the first thing that we have to do is get our ingredients out. So I'm going to go ahead and get out all my salad ingredients. Start my avocados, you have the parsley, lime, tomatoes. We have our little secret bag full of goodies, which has all of our spices and juices that we need. Our meat packet, of course. And we have our hatch chilies and diced tomatoes. Our rice, integral ingredient to making beef and rice timbali. And we have our onion and our sweet potato. And finally our eggs, which are carefully packaged. So it's very important that you prepare all your ingredients before you start cooking. So that's why on the back of your card has all the ingredients and the instructions on how to prepare them. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare mine. You go do yours and we'll meet back. Step 1, prepare your rice. So the general rule of thumb is to have a 2-to-1 ratio of liquid to dry rice. In our recipe, we had 2 cups of rice, so you want to use 4 cups of liquid. It can be chicken broth, it can be water, whichever you like to use. And then after you cook your rice, you're going to go ahead and add your peas, and then you want to use a fork like this and just fluff up your rice a little bit because it's going to be flat and it doesn't look that great. And this way, it sort of helps the rice grow puffy, which is what you want in this dish. Step 2 is to prepare your sweet potato. So what we've done already is I already diced it and cubed it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add our olive oil on top. This can ensure that it gets a good crispy exterior and it cooks evenly. Just get a nice drizzle throughout. And then we're going to add some salt. Get a good generous sprinkle all over. And some pepper. It's very important to season this at this stage because you want to season all the time. And this really ensures the flavors come out really well. And then you're going to put it in a 400-degree oven for about 10 minutes, or at least until you can use a fork and pierce it through really easily. Step 3. Now we're going to prepare the filling. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have a high heat pan with some olive oil in it, and then you can go ahead and add your onion and garlic. And that's what you want to hear is a good sizzle. That means your pan is hot enough. Oh, I love the smell of this stuff. We're just going to stir it on a little bit. You just want to make sure it heats up just enough so it's tender. So it only takes about a minute or 2 at most. Yum, yum, yum. I wonder if people have ever eaten just like the onion and the garlic like this as like a dish. It's a weird dish, but it might be good. I might just pull it off. Okay, so those have been sauteing for a little bit. We're going to go ahead and add our meat now. Just have some ground beef. And then you just want to break this up. And what you want to do is you just want to make sure it gets brown until there's no more heat. And it's very important that once your meat is just about brown like this, that you get rid of all that extra grease before you add any of the rest of the filling. So our meat is brown, it looks and it smells amazing. We're going to go ahead and add our chilies now. The chilies give a nice strong flavor to this. They also add a good moisture to it. So you want to make sure you get all the chilies in there. Good scoop. You don't want to waste any of that flavor. There we go. And then close that lid. And then we're going to go ahead and add our tomatoes as well. And these, again, will add more moisture. But they also add a nice softer texture to the filling. It really brings it all together. And then we're going to just stir this up a little bit. Make sure it gets well incorporated. I love the smell of those chilies. Next up, we're going to go ahead and add our spices, which we have paprika and cumin here. This gives it a really nice darker red color, as well as having the really big flavor of cumin. So we're gonna mix those in. We have some parsley. And then we also have our sweet potatoes, which are now fully cooked. I'm gonna go ahead and place those guys in there. And then we're gonna season with some salt, like that, and some pepper, like that. And then we're gonna mix it up once more. And then once you get everything, oops, it's okay, he's fine. Once you get everything nice and incorporated, we're gonna let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Let's turn my heat there. Step 4 is to prepare the avocados. So while our filling is simmering, we're gonna go ahead and make our filling for our stuffed avocados. So what I have already cut here are some tomatoes, cucumbers, and onions. So we're gonna go ahead and take all of this and put it in our nice bowl here. It's nice and big. And we have huge chunks here because you really want, it's almost like a chunky salsa, but it's like way better. So we're gonna make sure we get every last bit in there because we love it. And then we go ahead and get our bunches of onions here. Don't want to leave any behind. And then some cilantro too, which will add a very nice, refreshing flavor to it. We can get some salt, sprinkle, and some pepper, more sprinkle. So we're going to go ahead and mix all of our dry ingredients. And you want to do this before you add any sauce or dressing, which ensures that all your ingredients are incorporated well and evenly. So now all of our ingredients are mixed well. We can go ahead and make our sauce. So what we have is some oil here. We can get our lime juice, which is already pre-measured. You don't have to worry about that. We can go ahead and add it to our oil. And then we also have some honey for some sweetness. So honey might be a little bit harder to get out. So just take your spoon here and you just want to scoop it out because gravity would take way too long. So make sure you don't miss any of that sweetness because it's really going to complement the flavors really well. And then once you get all that, you're going to stir it, mix it really well. You want to ensure that the honey mixes with everything else, which might be the most difficult part. But once you get a good stir in there, it'll be fine. And then we can go ahead and put this on our filling here. And you just want just enough to give it a good coating and make sure everything has that flavor because you're not really looking forward to making a soup. Just add a little bit there and see how it goes. I think that is enough. And now here is the most fun part of all of this entire stuffed avocado salad. So what we have here are our avocados, which are cut in half lengthwise. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and get your filling and just plop them into the little middles of the avocados. And you can let it be free. Just gravity's going to do its work. But if you can sort of get it in the middle, you're all good. You can just get everyone a generous helping because this is amazing. And it tastes awesome. So you don't want to take out on anyone. And then we're going to add, of course, some parsley just to finish. It's a nice, refreshing garnish. A little bit more green on this plate. And there you have it, your Peruvian stuffed avocados. Step 5. Now it's time to plate. But this is like a very unique plating process. It's also way more fun than the normal one. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a bowl here. You're going to get some cooking spray and you're just going to spray the outside of the bowl. Just make sure it's covered and clear. You don't want too much on there. And then we're going to get some of our rice. You want to make sure you get the peas. And we're going to fill this guy about 1/3 of the way. Now it's very important that you try to pack your rice in there. And that way it takes the shape of the bowl and your mold is super secure. So make sure you pack. So we're packing our rice in there. Looking good. Now we're going to go and get our hard-boiled eggs, which have been sliced here. We're going to get just a couple of our slices. We want the ones that have the yolks in. It looks really pretty and it's going to taste really good. And you just want to put them on the outer edges like this. You want to fit as many as you can in there just so you can ensure you have that flavor and texture. So I'm going to scoot that little guy over. I think that's all we can fit in there, unfortunately. And then we're going to go ahead and add our meat filling. You want to make sure you get some sweet potatoes in here. You want to make sure you get some chilies. You want everything, basically. You want to make sure you got a nice, even, thin layer of this. Get some more sweet potato because I love sweet potato. Let's get some more. Oh, it smells so good. I want to eat it right now, but I gotta wait till the finished product. And you want to make sure you spread it out towards the sides like that because, again, you want a nice, stable mold. So push, push, push. A little bit there. Cover that edge. Ha! And then another layer of rice. And you want to fill this one all the way up to the top and make sure it's packed super well, because this is going to be the foundation of your timbali. So nice and get some big, get some big scoops there and just pack it down like that. So put some peas in there. And there we go. Okay, so now here is the tricky but most fun part of all. So we have a little plate here, thankfully. It's not too large. You're going to put your plate on top of your mold like this. And then you're going to grab both hands and flip. What? Magic? No. Just lots of practice. And even if you want, I would recommend practicing using a paper plate just in case, because some glass plates may been broken in my kitchen. But that's okay, because mistakes are made and you learn. And then you get this. And then, of course, we're going to garnish with some parsley. Give it some nice, good green on top. Oh, get that on top. And there you have it. Your beef and rice timbali with the Peruvian stuffed avocados. And now for my favorite part of all, the taste test. I'm just going to go ahead and get my timbali here. Get my fork, get a little bit from the back. Make sure I get some good filling in there. That is delicious. I could probably eat that every day. Seriously. You can really taste the cumin in the filling, which really complements the spiciness of the hatch chilies, but it's just delicate enough so it's not overpowering and overwhelming. And the rice adds a nice, more subtle foundation that just pairs along with it perfectly. Man, I love this dish, and I know you will too. So I hope you enjoyed cooking with me, and I'll see you next time. Step 1. First, you're going to prepare your rice. Okay. Just focus.
I'm done with it.
Hey guys, we're back again talking about rice. Okay. So while our filling is simmering, we're going to go ahead.